today we are going to do some what solds for the month of February. We are creeping in on the last day of February, guys. This is freaking sweet. I'm pumped for summer and spring and flowers and bare feet and Birkenstocks. You know, in the summer, that's all I wear. I have like one pair of Birkenstocks that I wear like the whole summer. I can't help it. They're really comfortable. So anywho, I'm excited and I'm going to share some what sold from the last like week or so. And I hope you all enjoy and welcome to my channel. And if you haven't been here before, I am Jules. Some may call me Gypsy Jules. I now feel like I'm a head with no neck. This is happening. Okay. This is so weird. Look at this. I am a single mom. I am a full-time reseller and I'm doing this and I'm rocking it out, and it's awesome because when you're a reseller, you like don't have a boss. You are your own boss, and it's pretty sweet because, you know, when you have to call in sick, you don't have to call in sick. You never have to do that. You're just like, yo, I'm sick. This sucks, but at least I don't have to call in sick. At least I can just sit home and do nothing and relax and not have the stress of having people not understand when you're sick. Okay, that was a rant. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, first on the list today is a Tiffany style leaded slag glass light shade table floor lamp. And I actually shared this in one of my videos recently. It was a thrift store find. I paid $7 something for it, and it sold for $98 plus shipping. Woohoo. That kind of stuff, any kind of like Tiffany style or like stained glass things like that, usually really does well. Yeah, that was a really good sale. It was not branded or anything. It was just a nice looking lampshade. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing broken on it. I will say packing it was a pain in the you know what, because it was going to California, of course, and I'm on the East Coast. So I had to like make the box just like the right size, or it would have cost like way more to ship it. You know, it was one of them that I had to keep monkeying with the box to get it to be a decent shipping price because the California thing, and it was just kind of a awkward size lamp, and the box had to be quite a bit bigger, you know, because you don't want it to break and all that. So anyhow, I'm glad it sold. All right, here we got a Barbie Fairytopia Magic of the Rainbow. This is a really cute old play set from the early 2000s that I found 2 of these at my local thrift store. I believe I paid like $5 or $6 for each of them. I knew right away they were older, and they had a lot of their like little pieces inside and everything. And when I looked them up, I could see they were rare. There was like barely any on eBay, and the ones that were on eBay were like priced really high. So I bought them, and both of them have sold now. I have another Barbie. Anytime I find Barbies that are articulated, have all the joints and everything, I usually will pick them up as long as they're in good condition. This one was really pretty. Articulated joints. She was dark skinned. I mean, looked perfect. She looked pretty much new. Didn't have any outfit on. Like normally, sometimes if I want to get fancy, I'll put an outfit on a Barbie, but some people buy Barbies for, and I put this in the title, OOAK, that means one of a kind. So there are people that redo Barbies. They'll like maybe reroot their hair, they'll redo their face makeup. They do all kinds of stuff. It's really neat. So they'll look for just plain Barbies. They'll even look for Barbie heads. They'll put Barbies together. It's pretty neat. So anyhow, I will put that in my title, the OOK. Yeah, she sold for $22 plus shipping. I probably paid maybe $1 or $2 at the very most for her from my local thrift store. So good profit on that. This one, I very rarely pick up any kind of electronics. I know a lot of why can I say that? Electronics do well, but there's different reasons. I am not into electronics. I am afraid they're gonna break or something will happen to them somehow. And I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into electronics that I'm just not fond of. So at this stage in the game, I just kind of decided that's not my bag, and I don't pick them up unless the opportunity presents itself. And it did at this estate sale I got this at. I think I paid either $20 or $30 for it. It wasn't like that cheap, but I knew I could flip it for more, so I bought it because it was there and I didn't need to buy something there. I don't normally buy stuff just to buy something. That's never good, right? But I knew I could flip it for a good profit, basically, even if it wasn't my thing. It had its controller and everything. I think it even had its instructions and all that. So yeah, it was nice. A lot of DVD VCR combos are pretty valuable and sought after and sell pretty fast. This one sold within, I would say, within a month. Yeah, definitely within a month. And it sold for $76 plus shipping, so not bad. Okay, this one I just sold yesterday. It was a really fast flip, but I might have priced it a little low. Don't really care though, because I paid $1 for it. I paid $1 for this really, really pretty purse. I did want to keep it. I really did, but it was it was too good of a flip to keep, you know? Patricia Nash. Now, apparently she's a pretty decent brand, okay? Crossbody shoulder bag tooled leather floral boho purse. Okay, this purse was so pretty, and it wasn't like a lot of these like old, well, if it were vintage, you know, there's some tooled leather vintage purses. The inside will be kind of really plain and maybe not so great, but the outside's really pretty. Now this one, because it was like more of a designer brand, the inside was like this really soft, super soft velvet, and it had different pockets and different sections. I mean, it was like really nice, and I could tell when I seen it at my thrift store. I'm like, oh yeah, that's got to be something nice, some good brand, because I didn't recognize the brand. But yeah, so her purses go for over, at least I seen ones like a couple $100 and stuff. So, but it sold for $68.99 plus shipping, which was great. A really great flip and fast. Like I said, it sold in like a couple days, I think. That was really nice. This one I bought, it's really cute, from the Salvation Army. I think I got this, and it was maybe $3 or $4, and I just like old linens, but you know, with baby stuff, I don't really pick up a lot of baby stuff anymore. It has to be something really cool because it sits a long time. And Precious Moments, of course, I think a lot of people know that Precious Moments, a lot of the stuff is cute as heck, but it does not move. A lot of it won't even sell, except the exceptions. There are exceptions, but it did take quite a while to sell, months definitely, and it finally sold for $28.99 plus shipping. So a good flip either way. Pottery Barn Kids, is it God's doll? G-O-T-Z doll. When I seen this doll, I was like, oh, its face is really pretty. I could tell it was well made, and I knew it wasn't an American Girl doll because I'm pretty familiar with them, but it looked a lot like an American Girl doll. But yeah, I guess I never knew of this brand, but it's a Pottery Barn brand. So I fixed her up nice and brushed her hair really good, and I only paid maybe $1 or $2 at my local thrift store for her, and she sold, I think, within a week for I took an offer for $18, which at the time, I don't know, I thought I should have maybe waited, and I contemplated that offer because I'm like, I know I didn't pay much for her, but I don't know. I think she could sell for 20 some. I'm pretty sure she would had if I waited, but like last Friday and Saturday, I had really slow sales. Like I don't know what the heck was going on because nothing on my end changed. I always post at least five posts a day, and I do the end and relist thing, the end and sell similar thing, every 2 weeks at least, if not every week. So I'll get into that another time. But anyways, so I'm very diligent about keeping things going because this is my full-time business. You know, I take it very seriously, and I know like sales fluctuate. It is a thing, and yeah, it just happens, and it's normal, and you shouldn't get all stressed about it. And I know that. It doesn't stop me from getting stressed about it though. So yeah, all of a sudden this weekend, I just had crappy sales. Like nothing was selling. And I thought, what in the Sam hell's going on here? Nothing. It was just, you know, my sales are fine now. It was just the thing that happens. Like everyone that resells knows it happens. Just get through it. You'll be good. But I was stressing. So I think that was when this offer came in. Even though I was like, oh, I didn't really want to sell her for $18. I just did because I wanted to sell something. And it was still a good flip. So yeah, rant over. I sold her for $18. But anyhow, yeah. Pretty doll. And keep an eye out for them because it seems like they do pretty well. They're beautiful dolls. Okay. Oh, this is cool. R. Crumb Pocket Address Book. R. Crumb is an artist that's got kind of folky, cartoony looking art, really cute. And he seems rather collectible. I haven't found a lot of his stuff, but oddly enough, I have found 2 of these pocket address books at the same thrift store. I don't know how, and at totally different times. Like within like one I found, and then I found another one like 2 months later at the same thrift store. Weird, but yeah, they're not common at all, and they're not big. They're just little address books. And honestly, do people even use address books anymore? I don't know, maybe, but I just know I don't use an address book. And I know that this sold, and I'm happy, for $24, and I paid maybe $2 for it. And the other one I had, I think sold for 30 some. I had it up kind of high because I knew this guy was collectible and it was more of a rare thing. So, but I will say this sat forever. Yeah, I've had it for months and months. So glad to see it sell. Okay, vintage Playmobil. I don't normally pick up these anymore because I don't think there's a huge market for them out there. They're really cool. And they're old. These ones are from the 70s, and they looked really nice, but this only sold for $13 plus shipping for this whole 19 figure lot. So even though they're cool and old, unless I'm getting them for really cheap, I don't pick them up because they don't really have the greatest sell-through rate, and they don't go for a lot. But there might be rare ones. I don't know. Just in my experience, most of them have been like bread and butter sales, and those ones, they did sit for months. So yeah, not a very quick flip. Okay, jewelry. We're gonna do a few of the different jewelry items I sold recently. First one is this vintage Avon ring. This sat for a while, but I'm telling you, some Avon can do well. I'm not kidding. I know Avon's cheap, but a lot of it sells for me. It might not sell for a lot, most of it, but it's still collectible. So this ring sat for a while. I didn't pay much for it, maybe $1 or $2, and it sold for $22 plus shipping. So that's cool. Okay, this is another jewelry item. Chico's necklace, chunky, long, brass toned with purple beads, funky disco ball. This was cool. It was like, man, some Chico's necklaces are just wild. They're like crazy. They have all this bling on them, and yeah, it had like disco ball beads and everything. So that one I got from a Goodwill grab bag, and it sold for $13 plus shipping. Chico's has some stuff I think that can be a little higher, but a lot of it's just bread and butter, you know. We got vintage signed Sarah Coventry clip-on daisy flower power earrings. Retro boho mod. I always, all those keywords. Yeah, just stuff them all in there because why not? Those were really pretty. I can see why they sold recently too because they kind of look Eastery. They are very pastel and springy, which I like. And they sold for $12 plus shipping. Probably only paid $1 or $2 for them. And I have noticed Sarah Coventry stuff is usually very low end vintage costume jewelry. People will buy it, but I just noticed sometimes even when I find it now, I'm like, I'll like look at it and think and kind of inspect it, and I'll see if like I think it's worth it. You know, it sells sometimes and I'll pick it up here and there. Okay, this was a cool one. Vintage signed Lisner red rhinestone necklace, clip-on earrings, brooch set, gold tone. So obviously, I've probably mentioned before, whenever you can find like a whole set of anything, a pair of anything, any vintage, especially costume jewelry, it's always good. Because of course you can mark it up more. And this sold for $69.99 plus shipping. So yeah, that, I don't know why, but this happens where I just totally blank on where I got this. Like, where did I buy this? I can't remember. Maybe it was in the estate sale, maybe a thrift store. I really don't know. And what did I pay for it? Probably not a whole lot, but for some reason I can't remember. But it sold for $69.99. Okay, so I'm happy about that. Oh, and this was pretty cool too. Art blown glass, Grateful Dead. Here goes the Grateful Dead again. Steely skull, handmade pendant, and 2 matching beads. This is kind of weird, but let me just tell you, I found this at my local, not a local thrift store, well, it's a nearby thrift store, on a hemp necklace, okay? I paid, I think, $4 for it, okay? But the hemp necklace looked kind of cheap. I didn't like the way it looked. So I took the beads off of it and I sold them just like beads, obviously, here. And they sold for $34 plus shipping. Here's a little wild side note on this. I am almost 98% sure my old boss made this, because I used to work at this like weird little hippie type of store where my boss made blown glass things. I think I've talked about it before. And he made stuff like this. And when I saw the hemp necklace, it had the same kind of clasp on the back that they would always use for their hemp necklaces. So I'm pretty sure my old boss, Paul, his name was Paul, made this. I thought that was kind of crazy. And I just happened to find it at a thrift store. But anyhow, cool. And it sold for $34 plus shipping. So sweet. Oh yeah, this owl, so cute. Vintage flannel owl plush pillow. Oh, he was so cute. I had him like propped up in my eBay room, like chilling. He was like watching over me, and now he's gone. Now he's gone. But that's okay. He sold for $21.60 plus shipping. And I paid possibly $1 for him from my local thrift store. Adorable. Love the plaid. Love the look. Okay, next. I don't do this very often, but I picked up a Prada bag. Now, anytime you see a very high-end bag, the red flags go up. And it's like, is this real? Who knows, you know? And I thought that when I seen it. I'm like, okay, Prada, okay, well, yeah, sure. But I looked it over. It was at my local thrift store. I paid, I think, $10 for it because Prada. If you don't know, Prada bags sell for like thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous. So I brought it home and I did my research. I watched like 3 different YouTube videos about identifying Prada. And then I got online and looked up some stuff, and everything ticked off. Like every little thing it needed to have for it to be authentic, it had. That being said, it had some issues. It had like staining here and there. The inside had an area that needed restitched. I just wasn't amazed with this bag. I thought, okay, I think it's authentic, but it's not amazing. And I think someone will still want it because it's Prada. So what I did was put it up on auction. And I felt comfortable doing that only because I thought I was very close to being sure it was authentic. I would have never put it up for anything. I would have got rid of it and thrown it away if I thought it was fake, because you can get in trouble selling fake stuff. And that's why I don't even like to really pick up high-end stuff like that, because it's so often faked and I don't want to get in trouble for it. So it's not something I commonly do. But the opportunity presented itself. I did my research and I decided I'm pretty sure it's real. We'll just throw it up there. I'm gonna, list all the flaws it has and give all the information and let the buyer decide, and that's exactly what I did. So I put it up for auction, and I started the auction at like $70 some. I didn't want to try to get too much out of it because, of the situation. So it ended up selling to a lady for $137.50, which was nice. But then all of a sudden this lady messages me and she's giving me some weird story about how she just lost a bunch of money and she can't afford the purse anymore, but she loves the purse, but she can't afford it, and blah, blah, blah. So whatever, I was just like, whatever, that's fine, I'll just cancel your order, what are you gonna do? But so I canceled the order and I was like, what do I do now? So I thought, why don't I just put it up for sale? Because I don't really want to do an auction again. I just really don't care. I see it got bid up to 137, so I'll just put it up for sale for around that, a little lower maybe, just to get rid of it, because I just didn't want to mess with it, to be honest. But the lady who canceled the order kept kind of bugging me about how much she loved this purse and she really wanted it, but I don't know if she was trying to get me to give it to her for cheap. I really don't know. It was annoying though. Either way, I put it up again and it sold to someone else. So that was nice. But yeah, like I said, it was nice to get what I got out of it. And I would have never tried to get hundreds of dollars for it because of the authenticity, questionableness of it, even though I thought it was authentic. I am not a professional. And yeah, so that was that. I sold it. I made good profit on it, and that's all that mattered to me. So good sale. Okay, this was a really cute skirt. I was unfamiliar with this brand. It's called Toad & Co. Toad & Company. A-line cotton blend, size large, floral print. It was new with tags. I found it at my local thrift store. I paid, I believe, $4 or $5 for it. And it sold very quickly within a couple days. I was surprised. I didn't think it would sell that fast, but yeah. $37, and I noticed it got watchers right away. And I mean, I might have priced it a little low, not very low though, honestly. It was comparable to other sold comps, so I was happy with that. So yeah, be on the lookout for Toad & Company brand, because it seems to do really well. Okay, that's all I have today, so I hope y'all are doing well and having a good one out there and having good sales. And if you're not, don't worry, just keep doing what you're doing and they'll come in. It's how it works. So keep on keeping on, and I will see you on the next one. Jules out.